Okay, this is my review of Wonder Woman 32, the next chapter in the Children of the Gods storyline. I wanted to see if I could review every issue in this storyline because it's a pretty interesting, pivotal moment in Wonder Woman's history where she got a twin brother, a long lost twin brother, in a previous storyline, in a Justice League storyline, and now in her comic, we're picking that up to find out who her twin brother is and how that affects her and her her history, her cast of supporting characters, all that kind of stuff. Last issue, I like last issue. I like this one too. It's written by James Robinson, and the artist is Sergio Fernandez Davila. The cover is by Brian Hitch, veteran comic book artist, and he's also a writer now too. He's writing Justice League. It's a very good issue. It's a longer read than issue 31. Issue 31, the first chapter in the storyline, was a very brisk and quick read. It was the setup or the introduction. It had, a hook with Hercules being killed like earlier, like in the first, I guess, scene. And then the pieces, by Grail, the main villain, who's killing children of Zeus to take their energy and give to Darkseid, who's a baby right now. And the energy from the children, the people who are gods, will feed into Darkseid and age him and make him more powerful. And, they're in this together. And Wonder Woman doesn't know all that. She's just discovering that a lot of, godly people are winding up dead, and she wants to figure out why and get to the bottom of it. And I don't think they know that Wonder Woman's onto them yet either. They are just going about doing their thing. But, because this is a Wonder Woman comic book, they'll cross paths, of course. So this issue is a longer read because it's like in between the big action moments where the writer is having characters, react to things. Wonder Woman is taking, Hercules' dead body, to the morgue, and they're doing investigation, like who killed him, why, and, putting the clues together. So this issue is a lot of that. It's a lot of characters putting the pieces together and, getting on the trail, people saying things, a lot of exposition, but it's not boring. I mean, stories need to have this. It can't be constant boom, boom, boom action, or then it's like repetitive and it's too much. And most of it is, there's not much action except in the beginning. Wonder Woman is with Steve Trevor, and they're investigating a nest of parademons. And the parademons, they know of the parademons because the organization that Steve works for, Argus, is a government organization that investigates like supernatural paranormal things on Earth. And Darkseid, when he came to Earth and fought the Justice League previously, they were able to get information and get energy readings off beings like him, and in case they would ever come to the planet again. And they're monitoring these spikes, and they're finding them locations. And in this one location, there were parademons, and because they're from Apocalypse 2, they work for Darkseid. And that's how Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor came to this location and fought them, because there was an energy reading that said, there's bad forces on Earth. And they find, Hercules' body that same way, godly energy. And so that's how Diana's Wonder Woman's real name, how she and Steve, get onto the trail. They find out. And of course, Wonder Woman from the last issue has inherited Hercules' fortune. And so that's kind of, leading them to the conclusion. And so the only action in this scene is where she's fighting the parademons with Steve and their troops in the beginning. And the rest of it is all people talking to each other. But it's all build up, it's not boring, it's got to happen. And then the next scene is when she goes to Hercules' estate because she's his inheritor. And she's with Blake Hooper, the guy who introduced himself to her in last issue and told her, you've inherited Hercules' fortune. And it's them getting to know each other. And she finds a letter from Hercules that she was to be given to her after his death. And the letter to Hercules that she reads here, this is like my favorite part of the issue, actually, because it gives insight into Hercules' mindset since he's deceased now. But it's also Wonder Woman having a communication with a member of her family. Hercules is another one of Zeus's illegitimate children. And Hercules and Wonder Woman, before the current reboot in the past, they haven't had a very good relationship. And Wonder Woman actually hasn't really had a good relationship with a lot of the gods. And now that she's related to them, they're her family now. And so this is a nice letter. where he's telling her that he knows of her and that he hasn't been a good man in the past. I just like that. It was kind of emotional and insight into his psyche, and it was sort of a bonding moment, I guess, between the two of, even though he's dead. But I'm sure she liked getting this because Wonder Woman has said in this issue that she doesn't have a good opinion of her father, or that he wasn't, she hasn't had a good relationship with a lot of famous Greek characters, heroes, and even other gods. And so for her to have a tender moment, well, sort of kind of, by reading this letter, a nice letter from Hercules, who's her brother now, it's nice. And it was nice for her to hear this. And she says something to Blake Cooper that she doesn't think Zeus is a very good father figure. She's never met Zeus, and she doubts she ever will. And Blake Cooper says something like, "Is that what you think? That he's not a good father," basically? And then there's a pause. And I'm wondering if Blake Cooper is Zeus in disguise. Because there's got to be something up with this character. Like, he shows up out of nowhere and tells her she's the inheritor of Hercules' fortune. He's connected to the gods. I think this character, there's something up with him. I don't think he's just some regular guy who handles estates, who handles, what people are leaving behind. And then after that, Hercules leaves her the location of where her twin brother is, Jason, who's the focus of this whole story. He says that the little boy Jason was given to another immortal named Glaucus to raise, and this is where Glaucus raised him, somewhere in Greece. So Diana and Blake Cooper go to Greece, thanks to Hercules' letter he gave them. He tipped them off. And she goes to, she takes off her coat and flies out. He's on some fishing boat. And the issue ends with her meeting him. He's basically on, the boat. And it's almost like a full page spread of him looking up at her. She's flying in the air. And he knows who he is. He knows she's his sister. There's no time wasted with, him not knowing who he is and she not knowing who he is. They just flat out tell you. And I like that. This issue, this storyline, a lot of time could have been wasted if they dragged out the reveal, like who Jason is, and, him not knowing who he is, or him not knowing who everybody is, him knowing instantly who Wonder Woman is, and she knowing when she sees him. I think that knocks, an important story beat out of the way quickly. I think this is only supposed to be a 6-issue storyline, so they can't take too much time. They don't have a whole year to tell the story, and so I'm glad that they aren't dragging things on. But all in all, it's a good, filler issue. Well, I say filler. Filler has a bad connotation, as if it doesn't matter. This does matter, but it's a good informational, expositional issue to set up, to keep the story going. You got to have characters have downtime. It can't be all action all the time. There's got to be time for people to relax, do some mental and emotional stuff. And I felt this storyline is good. It keeps up good pacing. You have good action, quick action in the first issue. Here you have not that much action, but it's, the in-between where people are putting stuff together. And I like that. And I'm looking forward to next issue. I'm curious what kind of personality they'll give Jason, who he's going to be as a human being, and if he's going to stick around after the storyline. There's controversy, a vocal plurality of Wonder Woman fans are unhappy that Wonder Woman is getting a male character, a male twin brother to her supporting cast, because they feel that's too many men and it takes away from the feminism aspect of the character. I think that's crap. I mean, that's, I don't think they have to worry about that. It doesn't matter if she gets a male relative. She's still a feminist and a cool hero. Who cares? But I'm curious to see if other writers will continue, writing the Jason character, and he'll stick around and be a hero or a villain or whatever. Because a lot of times when superheroes are written by different writers over time, they pick and choose which characters and supporting cast members they want to pick and, leave by the wayside or write off or kill off. So, we'll see. We'll see if history will be kind to Jason. And, we just met him. He might turn out to be a bad guy. Who knows? Who knows what writer James Robinson even plans to do with Jason right now? We'll find out eventually, pretty soon. Wonder Woman comes out every 2 weeks from DC. So I guess we'll find out in 2 weeks. This came out last Wednesday. I'm doing the review a little late, but this is when I'm doing it. And, keep up with me. I'm going to follow up on the Children of the God storyline and let you know all about the drama between Wonder Woman and her weird, dysfunctional, supernatural family. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.